Hey everyone, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Steve, and this is 60 Cycle Hum, the guitar buying, selling, trading, modding, fixing, breaking, reviewing, playing
podcast. Here we are doing it again. Still a little bit of drinky sloppy from our last episode with Dave Hill.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was a lot of fun. I hope everyone else liked it because I had a great time. But anyways, in old news,
yeah,
we're dragging up stuff that happened a month and a half ago.
December 8th, 2020. Breaking news.
2 months ago.
Breaking news, December 8th, 2020. It's kind of funny to do a news piece. You know, if this would have been old timey days, you know, where you're waiting,
we get this over the telegram,
where you're waiting for the Pony Express to horseback your mail across the country.
This is older than that. Horses are faster than this. This is like, oh, someone is carrying a stone tablet from village to village slow. This is not Pony Express fast.
Back in December, one of Eric Clapton's Strats was up for auction via the Gotta Have Rock and Roll auction from November 25th to December 5th with an opening bid of $1 million.
And it did not sell.
Did not sell.
No one, from what I read, no one bid on it. No one was like, oh yeah, I'll take a shot.
Yeah. So this guitar,
zero bids on Eric Clapton's guitar.
Yeah. So the minimum bid was $1 million. The estimate was people thought it, or this auction house thought it would sell for between 1.5 and $2 million.
Wow.
Eric Clapton's historic own, blah, 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 blah. Apparently this guitar was nicknamed Slow Hand.
I thought he was nicknamed Slow Hand.
He was also nicknamed Slow Hand.
But then he named the guitar after himself?
I guess. This is a rare non-tremolo 1954 Stratocaster that he used from like 1979 to 1985, and it was a slide guitar.
Imagine having
primarily,
a guitar,
I guess, used as a slide guitar.
Imagine having a guitar around that you hadn't used since 1985, and then you decide to sell it.
Yeah.
In 2020, that is a 35-year. Like that guitar's been sitting around without use for 35 years, and then you're like, you know what? I'll sell it. What do you think I can get? $1 million?
In 1979, this guitar was set up for slide. There's basically, you know, I guess like you could say like, oh, I got this, and Eric Clapton, whatever. I didn't okay, so apparently this is I didn't know this. This is the guitar.
I'm waiting for Steve to form a complete sentence.
This is the guitar that Tyler over at Music Is Win.
Yes, I know.
I didn't.
He got to mess around with it before it went to auction, and it did not sell. Do you think it's Tyler's fault that it didn't sell?
It probably is. He probably played it, and people are like, "Oh,
never mind."
Like, I know what it sounds like in Clapton's hands. I know what it now sounds like in a YouTuber's hands.
Tyler is a fine guitarist. He's much better than either of us. I'll say that for sure.
I'm not saying he's bad. I'm saying like he's a guy that probably like. A lot of people are like, I'm nowhere near as good as this guy, and that's what this guitar sounds like with this guy.
No, honestly, like, I think if Clapton had sold any guitar,
yeah,
in like 2002,
yeah,
he probably could have fetched $1 million for any guitar. Like, oh, I played this on one recording. Okay, $1 million. Here you go. I think this might be the beginning of the end for like the high dollar value boomer fandom of classic rock, where if something sells that's connected to classic rock in any way, there's some boomer with a pile of money that'll just show up and be like, well, I've got to preserve this artifact. I've got to have this in my man cave next to my Lamborghini or whatever.
I think the thing is when you buy something that's like an artifact piece for that kind of angle, like you want one of the most famous versions of that thing,
right?
I would even
there's some rock doctor out there, some blues lawyer that has $1 million to blow on a guitar, but this didn't capture their imagination for some reason.
People, this article speculates, oh, maybe it was because Eric Clapton has expressed anti-lockdown views.
No, that's BS.
And after those anti-lockdown views came out, like people dug up some interview of his from the 60s where he said some pretty racist
No one
stuff.
had to dig up anything. It's been common knowledge for as long as I've been aware that Eric Clapton said racist things on a stage. He said it on a stage about people he didn't want to be in England. We'll say that. So that's on record. That's not a surprise to anyone. Like, this isn't new stuff that Clapton has shitty ideas floating around in his head.
Apparently they interviewed some guy he's the lead guitarist for a New Jersey-based Eric Clapton tribute band that, you know, if you had millions of dollars, would you have bought this? You know, you're in a Clapton tribute band. And even that dude was like, if I had $2 million, I'm not going to buy an Eric Clapton guitar that like he used as a slide guitar. Like, he's not famous for being a slide guitarist.
Like, if you only have $2 million, you're not blowing half of it on a bid for a guitar. You're not throwing away half your money. That's an auction for people who have $100 million. So that's an auction for people who have $1 billion.
He finished it off with saying, "We'll let Joe Bonamassa buy it."
Oh my gosh.
but I mean, that's kind of my take on it. Is there are I think there's a limit to fandom when it comes to buying something from an artist or a person that is, I'm talking so slow. I'm trying to process this. When you're trying to buy, like,
thanks, whiskey.
You want that like signature thing, and it's like, it's really dumb example, but I feel like, you know, looking around, there's probably a lot of guitars in this room that if you sold it and you said like, "I'm Ryan from 60 Cycle Hum and I'm selling this guitar," like, people would be like, "Oh, you're selling that one? Like, it's probably because you don't like it." Right. Or whatever.
Like, when someone made me an offer I couldn't refuse on the Bullet Mustang that I had hand painted. And the reality of it is that I really only upcharged them like, well, they made the offer. It was only an upcharge of like $50 more than it was worth.
Right.
You know, it wasn't like, oh, here's like this ridiculous offer. It was still like, oh, I want that because I really appreciate the journey it's been on with Ryan playing it, and I like the art. Here's an extra bit of money for it.
But I'm saying, like, that's probably one of the handful of guitars that you even have the option of upcharge.
Right, totally.
Like if you were wanted to sell the Silver Burst or the Silver Sparkle Harley Benton,
right,
you're not going to get.
No one's gonna pay. No one's gonna overpay what they could just get it new from Thomann for.
Now the gold Strat back here, or you know, any of the stuff you painted,
right,
is gonna have like that additional like signature model value. It's kind of the same thing here. What I'm trying to say, guys, is Ryan is Eric Clapton.
No one should pay more money for that Strat, even though I've repainted it a dozen times. Just go buy any late 90s Mexican Strat and it will be better than that one. I've wrecked that thing pretty hard. I actually need to open it up and fix the switch. The bridge position is not connecting.
I'm actually super confused right now.
Why?
What is the purple paisley? Where's that body from?
It's a GFS body.
Oh.
It started out black. Yeah, it's not anything historic for my collection.
For some reason in my brain,
historic.
For some reason in my brain, I thought that was the gold Strat.
No.
You had refinished it and swapped the neck out.
The green one was the gold one. It's like margarita green. I keep telling people it's green and they disagree with me. It's green.
You're saying that's green. It's not gold.
Yeah.
I guess I can kind of see how it's
green. It's like margarita green. It's lime green.
Anyway, this whole Clapton thing, I don't think it's super political. You know, we were talking about this, and it's like if the Nuge was selling a guitar, like I think it would. Well,
Ted Nugent is who he's talking about. If you're not down with the Nuge lingo,
cat scratch fever. I don't actually know. I don't remember how that song goes. It's been that long since
I used to know how to play that riff. It's an easy riff. Not that it matters. Not that anyone ever needs to hear a Ted Nugent song.
Those Birdland guitars are cool.
You know what? If there are Ted Nugent songs that I like listening to. There's I think it's called White Buffalo, and I like it just because.
Why's it got to be white, Ryan?
Because there's the intro on it is literally just like a minute and a half of feedback on one string and like bending the string, and it just kind of builds in a fun way.
That's my kind of guitar solo.
But then the rest of the song kind of sucks.
Jeez.
But there's some fun guitar stuff from Ted Nugent, despite him being a total knucklehead. But most musicians are knuckleheads. Let's be honest.
Apparently that guitar was purchased at an auction by a private collector back in 1999 for $190,000. So
it wasn't even Clapton selling it; it was someone else selling it.
I guess. Yes.
That takes the fun out. I wanted it to be like Clapton himself was trying to sell his guitar,
right,
and he couldn't. He suffered the embarrassment of it not selling. Yeah. That doesn't matter to him. He already sold it. It sold for a correct amount earlier, and now someone else was trying to like get a huge payout for it.
I'm sure that value of it just being a 1954 Strat, maybe it went up a little. You know, if you want stuff to sell at auction, the trick is you got to start bidding at $1.
Yeah.
You start that bidding at $1.
Find out where it's going to end up.
You leave yourself that reserve price so people know reserve not yet met.
Right.
And then they just keep bidding. And you set your reserve at $1 million.
I don't think that official like Woodhammer auctions work on eBay rules though.
Well, maybe they should. I'm just saying, like, maybe they should.
Right.
499,499 and not sold, reserve not met.
Shipping is $19.95. Would you like to pay through PayPal?
What's that? You don't want insurance?
Oh man, I sold a pedal on Reverb back in December, mid-December. We're at the end of January now.
I go back to December all the time.
It's lost in the mail. The guy has messaged me a couple times. I went to the post office. They're like, file a thing. I filed the thing. I've heard nothing back.
Ew.
I think I'm just going to have to refund the guy, and maybe it'll show up at his house or my house someday. But it's been lost in the mail. It never left San Diego is the thing.
Weird.
Like the tracking says it got on a truck in San Diego and then never surfaced anywhere. So like, did the truck catch fire and burn down? What happened to my package? It's the rumble seat. It's the analog alien rumble seat. That's a bummer pedal to have to go missing.
Yeah, I just had this thought. We're gonna have to figure out how to.
If I don't hear anything back, if the guy who bought it is listening right now, which he might be, if I don't hear anything from the post office in the next week, then I'm just going to refund you whatever I have to do through Reverb. And if it shows up, I hope you'll be honest enough to let me know, and we'll figure something out.
We should do that long December challenge, but we should do. I don't want to do 12 of them or 11 of them. I was thinking they should just all be month themed.
Oh my gosh, no!
Like, you know,
are there January songs?
I can't think of any January ones, but like February could be February Stars. May could be Rod Stewart, Maggie May. Just saying.
I feel like any month that doesn't have a song assigned to it, you just do Calendar Girl.
Whiskey.
Wow, you went for it, Steve.
Whiskey makes me think I can sing that Frankie Valli part.
So yeah, Eric Clapton couldn't sell his guitar. This signals the death of classic rock fandom, and it's the end of the world, guys. Millennials have inherited the music landscape, and millennials are on the way out. I mean, boomers are on the way out. So it's chaos.
Yeah.
Soul chaos. People won't pay $1 million for a Clapton guitar. What does it mean?
Dogs and cats living together.
Obviously, it means that it's the fault of social justice warriors, because Eric Clapton did a dumb song that's actually really awful and boring to listen to. Like, it's not even a good song. Like, if you're going to write a song.
Layla? Are you talking about Layla?
I'm not talking about all the other Clapton songs that are boring and suck and are awful. I'm talking about this specific song he did with what's his name? What's the guy's name? But it's
David Duke.
No, he did this.
Oh, Van Morrison.
Have you actually listened to it?
Is that Van Morrison? Hey, where did we go?
It might be, but
I haven't heard this song.
It is the most boring, like, open mic night blues jam version of a song with like generic blues noodling throughout, where it's like if you told me it was Clapton, I'd be like, are you sure? because it kind of just sounds like whoever shows up at a blues jam. And the song structure is nothing. It's just like your standard blues progression with some guy just rambling with obscure references about things that you're supposed to think is like, oh yeah, good point about freedom and not wearing a mask. It's garbage. It's a garbage song, and no one cares about that song. No one cares about this dumb song they made about not wearing masks. The guitar, no one wanted to pay $1 million for that guitar. That's also the reality of it.
You're British. You already Brexited. You ruined Brexfist.
Brexfist.
Also,
I could go for some Brexfist right now.
Eric Clapton's best song is "Walking on the Sun." Everyone knows that.
You're
ready to do an ad.
You might as well be Eric Clapton.
This was sent by Michael Krause.
Were you trying to make a joke about?
I'm just like channeling my.
What were you trying to do with that joke?
What, the Walking on the Sun joke?
Yeah,
I'm just like channeling Drunk Uncle from SNL.
Drunk Uncle.
Just saying random things. This is sold.
Of course it's sold.
This was sent by Michael Krause. This is in Peabody, Massachusetts. I took this brand new guitar out of the bubble wrap box, ready to be picked up by the first person close to the price to smash someone in the face.
I mean, throw this on top of the old news pile. We have a Twisted Tea themed acoustic guitar here. Who could have ever known that Twisted Tea would be such the meme it was for about a week and a half?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
And then no one's going to mention it ever again for the rest of our lives.
There was a Twisted Tea meme that was Rex Kwon Do, but instead of American flag pants, he was wearing Twisted Tea pants.
Imagine you have something in your life that just takes off because it's a meme, and like you become just hot on fire, like Twisted Tea just selling off the racks for a week, and then like no one cares again for the rest of your life.
How much does that like screw up your stock?
I know. Twisted Tea is like, we're out. We're completely out. Ramp up production. Buy more factories. We've got to make Twisted Tea. 6 months later, when the production cycle is actually done, what do you mean no one wants this stuff? We quadrupled production because the demand was so high. No one wants it anymore.
I think it's better than Mike's.
Mike's Hard Lemonade?
Yeah.
I don't know. I like Mike's. But
I do like Mike's.
I mean, here's the thing.
I like Twisted Tea more.
As a diabetic boy, I don't think I should be touching either of those too much, is what I'm saying. Hard liquor for me. Doctors.
One of my friends in when I used to we used to work together, she was like a college party girl. She was like, oh, freshman 15. Oh. And so her cure to the freshman 15 is she stopped drinking beer. She's like, I only drink liquor now. She's like, I can take 2 shots, get the buzz I want, and really cut back on those calories.
I guess
it works.
I guess yeah, it's fine. There's a lot less carbs.
Yeah.
But whatever. So this guy wanted $75 and then he knocked it down to 40.
Yeah.
And then it sold.
Yeah.
This looks like the cheapest acoustic guitar build. It looks
like crap.
Like, look at the orange peel on the back of this thing.
It's gnarly.
I feel like I could get less orange peel painting my wall that already has orange peel texture on it.
The sad thing is this reminds me of a Harmony that I bought 10 years ago.
The fretboard is glossy and there's orange peel on the fretboard. You know that you pick this up and it's going to have that super duper cheap rusted style fret metal.
No, this is like
that you find on cheap tourist ukuleles at flea markets and stuff.
This is a bad way wall hanger.
Oh yeah. This is not a good guitar. You can tell you can smell it through the screen here that it's not a good guitar.
It doesn't smell like Twisted Tea. It smells like glue.
So it honestly makes it the perfect guitar for smashing Nazis in the face. I've never watched that video with the sound on. I just watched the guy get the beating. So I don't even know what was going on.
It's a rough video. I'm surprised that that video is as long as it is.
I think people just needed to see something get destroyed.
I felt really gross after that video.
Yeah. I don't know. $40. Would you buy this?
No.
Not even super rich, Steve?
if I was Super Rich Steve, I would buy this and I would keep this in the back of my Lamborghini. Do Lamborghinis have trunks?
No, that's where the engine is.
I would keep it in the front trunk of my Lamborghini.
The front trunk.
And I would only use this like if I was driving down the road and I saw a guy truck nuts.
You throw it out the window at the truck nuts.
Confederate flag sticker, whatever, on his back window.
Steve hates testicles. If he sees depictions of testicles, it makes him want to lash out violently.
Maybe I'm driving by and he's yelling racial epithets at a person sitting at the bus stop.
This is a very specific situation.
I'm getting out of my Lamborghini. I'm popping that hood. I go, sir, could you please step out of your car? He goes, oh, you want to make something of it? You want to make something of it?
Steve is weaving a tale here.
Excuse me, sir. I'd like to speak to you about your choice in truck language.
Your truck language?
General human decency. And when he steps out of the car and he goes, you got something to say? I just whip this thing out. I go, I'd like to play you a song. And then I smash it over his head.
Oh, there it is.
But I don't light it on fire because it might catch him on fire. And I just don't, I don't want to be part of that. But maybe Super Rich Steve's lawyers could fight the case.
Super Rich Ryan sees this guy, truck nuts, Confederate flags, Nazi flags. We'll add Nazi flags onto it, hanging off the truck. I've got the Twisted Tea guitar in the front trunk. We've decided Lamborghinis have front trunks. They might. They very well might. And instead of pulling over and confronting the man, I just steer the ship in his direction. I gas it. I throw a brick on the gas. I open the door. I tuck and roll out that seagull door. It flaps up. I tuck and roll. I get out of there, and it just crashes into him and explodes. And I know that the guitar has been destroyed. And that was what I was trying to do. The guitar is the warhead. The Lamborghini was the missile.
Here you go. Okay, I got it. Right
now, there's people who are pissed off because we are saying that we would do something aggressive towards people with Nazi flags. We're going to get angry emails.
Here's what you do
about that.
Here's what you do. You pull up next to the light and you go, oh man, that guy. And then once the light turns green, you let him get up ahead of you. Give yourself a runway. Then you floor that Lamborghini and you point it right at the dude. You're driving, you're flooring. You wait till he's at a red light, so he's stopped, and you're flooring, and then you go, okay, I gotta stop this thing soon. So you pop the hood flies open, you slam on the brakes, and the guitar launches out of the front of your guitar.
Oh, yeah, like that.
Out of the front of your car and flies through the air, smashes through the back of his cab. The neck aligns itself perfectly to hit him.
Oh.
To hit him.
It knocks him. It
hits him real good.
It's a hit.
Then you get out of your car and you close the hood and you go, good day, sir.
Now, I have a question.
I said good day.
I have a question about this guitar. I'm looking at the picture of the bridge. Is this a classical guitar? Is this a classical guitar that happens to have steel strings on it?
No, it's not. This is...
Look how it's strung.
I see it. I understand what you're saying.
The bridge is wrong.
It's not a classical guitar. This is like... There were a bunch of these guitars made in like the 90s. Like you could buy... I'm telling you, I owned a Harmony acoustic.
All right.
From like... That was made in like the 90s that basically had all of these parts. And it was a I think I threw it. It's like the only good. I think I threw it away.
Well, this guitar has begun to bore me, so I'm clicking away from it.
Well, you know what's not boring, Ryan?
What's not boring, Steve?
What's not boring is our first sponsor this week. Big Ear Pedals.
We forgot to mention them last episode. I'm so sorry, Grant and Karen. But Big Ear Pedals, we've discovered recently that the loaf is beautiful and amazing and wonderful for low-end instruments. We did some messing around with it with some bass, with some long guitar.
Yeah. And
I used it for a baritone section in a video the other day. And I gotta say, if you're playing low stuff, get yourself a loaf. Maybe that's why it's called the loaf.
The loaf.
Because it wants to be hit by low stuff.
Yeah, it gets real big, real wall of sound.
Like it kind of rides this line between like a fuzz and like an overdrive themed fuzz. Like it's a fuzz, but it kind of feels overdrivey in a way.
Yeah.
And when you hit it with like a baritone or a bass, like it just gets so thick. Like it's not doing that over the top kind of gated fuzz. It's doing this thick fuzz thing. And it's fantastic. So if you're playing low stuff, I recommend the Loaf. There you go.
Loaf.
Go check out Big Ear Pedals. They've been sponsoring the show and supporting us in multitudes of ways for a long time, and we appreciate them greatly.
BigEarPedals.com.
Yep.
You got anything new, man?
I've got all sorts of stuff new, Steve.
Ooh, tell me about it.
I am like covered in new things that are happening.
Gross.
A new thing, a new experience that you and I have been sharing, though, is that I had dropped off some guitars with our friend Sean Hutchinson down at Pitbull Audio. I went and picked them up that very same day. I picked up my guitars. I picked up the aluminum neck strap that I put together and the miniature Les Paul thing that it needed a new nut.
I think it's off camera.
And as I was walking away and saying goodbye, I was like, oh, hey, by the way, Steve's going to stop by sometime soon. He's going to drop off a few guitars that need some work because we had filmed some stuff and had been talking about it.
Yeah.
Apparently you showed up like an hour later.
Yeah. I think you showed up right before his lunch break and I showed up during his lunch break. and it was funny. I was like, yeah, I got a couple of guitars to show up. And the guy who was working there, or to drop off, the guy who was working there was like, I think Sean's on his lunch right now. He's like, I can write him up for you, or if you want to talk to Sean, you can just like hang out. I was like, okay, I'll just hang out. Like, Pitbull is a really fun shop. It's really cool. They have so much stuff on the walls. I did notice that there are a lot of guitars that are like locked, which I didn't realize. But that's fine. I mean, they're like, I think everything that's like $2,000 and up is locked down.
They should be locked, honestly.
So that's I don't blame them for that.
Yeah.
There's no reason. Aside from my own personal curiosity, like I'm not going to take a Dunnable and be like, I'm going to plug this into this Fender Champ over here. Yep, I'm definitely taking this one home with me today.
When I was there, when I rung up my repair invoices, there was the guy ahead of me in line buying himself a beautiful Gretsch, like this Chet Atkins Gretsch.
Oh, cool.
Oh, it's just beautiful, and you could tell that it was a major purchase for him. The way that he was kind of like a little fidgety about it. I was like, "Good for you, man! You're getting the guitar. You're getting the guitar that you really want. Good for you!" And I was like cheering him on. It was a fun moment. And then I paid for my repairs.
Yeah.
So I needed.
What strings did you get on yours? Do you just get the XTs?
I left XTs in the packs. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if he put those on there, but he didn't ask me about strings, so I'm assuming he found the packs and used them. I basically got nut work on both guitars. I got the nut lowered on. The nut slots lowered on that Baguli neck, the aluminum neck that I have on my Strat project, because it was cut so high. I don't know if it's because they don't fit the necks to a guitar to dial it in before they ship them out. But I was a little bit disappointed, like how high that nut was cut.
I have heard that some. Now I can't say that's the case here, but I have heard that there are some builders or some manufacturers that intentionally leave the nut
so that
high,
you do it to your preference.
So you can do it to your preference.
That's a good point.
Obviously it's a little tougher with brass because it's just a harder material.
Yeah.
But I mean that makes more sense than like if they were to cut it and then your action is way lower than you want.
Yeah.
And now you have to get the nut replaced.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
I dropped off the Gibson. Actually both my Gibsons I dropped off both the bass and the Les Paul. Sean seemed to think that rust we were talking about on the Les Paul.
No one's seen it yet,
I know.
unless I've published the video.
Probably not because of other things you have going on.
Yeah.
But he seemed to think that might just be from the strings. That it could be like string, like transfer over. Because he said that's where he's seen it before.
Huh.
So I don't know.
Well, he'll take care of that for you.
Yeah. He's like, oh yeah, I'll just throw some tape on here and throw some tape on the pickups and
He's going to get that thing
do
playing
a little
so nice.
steel wool action on it, so I'm not worried about it.
He fixed up that miniature Les Paul I have, and it is so glossy slick now.
Oh yeah.
It is amazing. He put a new bone nut on it. The nut that was on it when I got it was all chipped up, and the strings were like all messed. Oh, they were too deep in it.
Oh,
they were rusting too deep and like buzzing out. So I had to like wedge pieces of aluminum foil in there to raise the strings up, which is an old and dumb trick. But it made it work for a little while. But yeah, it plays like a dream now that he set it up.
Cool.
So we have a history of doing our own work, but there's certain things that's just like, I'm not going to try to do my own nut. It's going to be too sloppy. It costs me like, I think it was like $65 per nut or something like that. Well worth it. Well worth it to have a pro actually tackle that than me have to spend an afternoon with a nut that I probably ordered for $20 and then a set of files, and then ruin the first nut and then order another one and have to like go through this practice makes perfect sort of situation and still not have it be good. Yeah, nut work, totally have someone else do it if you're not comfortable. Setting up the action and intonation on your bridge, do it yourself. Learn it, because you can reverse it, you can correct it. But filing a nut, I'm going to pay someone else to do that every single time.
Shaping, all that stuff.
Totally. And then the other stuff he did, he shined up the frets and made it glossy and dialed other things in for me. And he did a stellar job.
It's good work. That's a really cool shop. They have a lot of neat guitars. I guess that's like our, we have I guess a couple, like two. It's actually funny. Like I was talking to him about the local shop scene basically, and it sounds like Pitbull's kind of like the go-to shop for repairs in San Diego now.
They have a legit shop over there. I've been spending time over at Moe's Guitars, and they have a legit shop too. But yeah, we love Sean, so I have no problem sending stuff over there. That's my other what's new. I mean, I have so many.
What's new?
I'm having my guitar built by High Spirit Guitars.
Oh yeah,
and he operates out of Moe's Guitars. I went over there the other day, and I filmed him cutting my body, not my flesh and bone body. I filmed him cutting my guitar body, and for some reason I've been secretive about it. I don't think I should be. I think I should be more. I should make. Well,
you posted like an Instagram video or something. Didn't you?
Did, and if you watch till the end of the videos and you saw the full shape of the body revealed for a few seconds, I'm having a custom body shape made.
Yeah.
It is a modification of that pink guitar that I demoed, but I've slimmed out the horns to be more like
pointy,
more pointy, but
metal,
but not metal. They're like they're like 60s Taisco import Japan style. And then I've given it a butt like a Fender Maverick. I've given it that fish fin.
Yeah,
You don't like that?
It's weird.
I love it.
It's weird, man.
It's still going to be a couple months until that guitar is done. But then today he hit me up and was asking me about neck woods and neck profiles and things like that. And he's already wound the pickups for it. So this thing is on its way.
Yeah.
I told him that I really like his hot dog pickups that he makes, but I would like a set that are more like twangy and lower output to fit my style, because the ones that he usually makes are pretty beefy and pushing more into like a P90 sound. And he made this set. He has them in another guitar, and oh my god, they sound so good. They sound like spot on. First try, he did it. They sound exactly the way I would want them to sound. There was a local player there. Aaron Bowen is his name.
Oh yeah, Aaron Bowen.
Amazing player. And he's been, I guess he's been kind of like tutoring underneath Colin.
Oh, okay.
Learning how to make guitars and going to him for advice when he makes his guitars. And he was playing the pickups and just doing his like country shredding picking stuff that he does, like his jazzy stuff that he does. I don't know how to explain what he does, but it's incredible compared to how I play. And he was in love with the pickups too, and so that made me feel pretty good. Maybe Colin had him come in as a ringer to impress me.
Hey Aaron, this guy's coming in. He kind of sucks at guitar.
Could you play the guitar so he's sold on the pickups?
Yeah.
No, I picked up the guitar and I was playing through the pickups, and it was like, yeah, I'm getting like the twangy, like Fender-ish sort of like surfy sounds that I want, but they're still kind of unique in a way.
Yeah.
I'm totally jazzed. I'm super stoked. He's going to make a couple of those bodies. We haven't decided how many yet, but now that he has the template,
69.
He's not going to make 69. He's going to make 420. No, no, we were talking like 4 to 6 or something like that.
Right.
So that other people can buy it and it'll be like a limited run. I think people are going to like the body shape. People who like the weird stuff that I like are going to like it, I think.
It's a very U shape. It's just not a very me shape.
It's not the shape of a U. It's a very me shape.
It's like a very
Ryan shape.
It's kind of a Ed Sheeran shape. It's in love with the shape of you.
I was worried because I didn't want to be that guy that just like, oh, I love your stuff. Make me something different than your stuff. And I started out with his template for his existing body design.
Right.
And then I just showed him like my Photoshops of it. And I was like, if you don't like this, if you don't want to be associated with it, like this is just my dumb idea. And he was like, no, let's try it. And then after he cut it out, he kept texting me and being like, I keep looking at it and I love it. Like I just keep looking at this guitar and it's just really cool. So
yeah.
I mean, hopefully he still feels that way. Hopefully he doesn't feel like I pressured him into something dumb, because I don't think that's something that he wants to do, is like take everyone's suggestions to make custom dumb shapes.
For sure.
But I'm excited for mine. So there's that. We've got a lot of what's news.
It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. Oh,
Go buy a high spirit guitar, guys.
Go buy a high spirit guitar. Wait until my body shape comes out and buy one of those if you like that style at all. Apparently I did my video of that Strat shaped one, the pink one.
Apparently, yeah.
And then for like a minute,
you dropped it.
Then for like a minute, I played one of his like offset style ones that has like kind of like sharper horns than a normal offset. And that's the one. People have been putting in orders for that body.
Apparently.
Like crazy ever since the video. So I should have demoed one of those. But it introduced people to that shape, and that's what they want, I guess.
They're just really cool designs. They're like a throwback, but they're like a new take on like that old school kind of look. Yeah.
I really like his builds. Like everything I've picked up that he's made, I've been like, yeah, this guy gets what I like in a guitar. Mm-hmm. So I'm really excited that not only is he local and I can actually go try his guitars, but he's affordable and I can have one made for me, is pretty wild. Another what's new is I'm back. I went to JHS Pedals.
Were you on the JHS show?
We filmed this before I went.
I know.
So I don't know what happened yet, but the tentative plan is I'm going to be there a Tuesday and a Wednesday.
Yeah.
The Tuesday, I'm going to do my thing where I film rapid fire videos the way I do at NAMM and TGU and stuff like that, and just come home with a bunch of content. And then Wednesday, I'm going to do the JHS thing. Whatever they're filming, I'm going to be part of it. We're planning on doing a spring reverb video, since that's like my thing. So I'm going to be part of that, and we are going to do a live video. So hopefully, I don't know what their production schedule is like. I don't know how long it takes them to film stuff. Hopefully they can handle 2 videos in a day, a live video and filming a thing.
Right.
But I'm really excited about it. I'm also really nervous to fly, even though you're listening to this after the fact. I'm nervous to fly these days with the COVID stuff. So I know people are probably going to trash me online for doing this.
Technically, I think after you get back, I'm not supposed to come over here. Though potentially, if I can get my paperwork in line, I will be vaccinated by the time you get back.
Lucky. You're going to get a metal zone in you?
I know.
Damn, dude. I want that metal zone in me.
The problem is I need to get an appointment. So I have
Is it because of your job or something?
Yeah, I guess my job is because we're lab workers.
Right.
We have lab worker clearance, but the issue is like I went on the county website today and none of the vaccination centers have like available appointments. So it's going to depend on that.
Get an extra one for me.
Okay. Yeah. I need 4 shots.
Hey, give me a little extra. I'll take it home with me. Yeah, so I'm really excited to go. I'm really excited to be out of the house. I'm not excited to fly. I'm not excited for blowback that's going to happen online from people being mad that I flew.
I don't think it'll be that big of a
I am excited to deal with a fresh batch of trolls, though, after I sell out and go hang out with JHS.
Just.
So, trolls, bring it on.
The Just hot sandwich box.
I'm ready for you. All you trolls out there, bring it on. Let's talk about this next ad.
Yeah, this ad was found by you.
Yeah, another ad that I found.
This is an Epiphone ET 280 Bass.
Is this pre-Gibson Epiphone or is this post-Gibson Epiphone?
All Epiphone is Gibson Epiphone.
That's not true. Didn't Epiphone existed pre-Gibson?
Yeah, but Gibson bought Epiphone in like the 50s or something.
So this is post-Gibson Epiphone.
I'm curious about that timeline because
I've never actually thought about it.
Accurate.
When did Gibson buy Epiphone?
It's like 1957.
Wow, that's earlier than I thought.
Yeah, well, because Epiphone, the Epiphone guitar brand was founded in the like early 1900s.
Yeah, well, no, I know that it existed a long time before Gibson.
The actual trace back is 1873 in the Ottoman Empire is when it was founded.
What?
Yeah, by Anastasios Stathopoulos. Hey man, I just read these.
Epiphone was a foreign company?
Epiphone was founded by a Greek. He was Greek, and Epiphone originally made fiddles and lutes.
That's wild.
And they moved to the United States, and then his son, Epaminondas, took over. Epaminondas took over, hence the Epi in Epiphone. And the company became the House of Stathopoulou. It became the Epiphone Banjo Company in 1928, which was the same year it started producing guitars.
Everything you've said for like the past 3 minutes sounds made up.
This is from Wikipedia, man.
It sounds like you're just pulling it out of your ass.
And they were acquired by Gibson in 1957.
And when was this used by Hercules to defeat Hera?
It was on one of his legendary journeys, circa 1997.
Oh, Kevin Sorb. Oh, no.
This is a Epiphone ET280. This is so cool. It says it was recently set up by a luthier and has half round strings. I'll just say, if you want to try something different on the bass, half rounds are a lot of fun. They start off pretty warm. They kind of play in terms of the feel, kind of like typical round wound strings, but they really mellow out. And the funny thing is the house bass at my church has half rounds. I put half rounds on those, and they never really got that like flat wound warmth, that flat wound dead sound,
that like thud,
until I took like 2 months off. So other bass players were playing this thing all of the time. And when I finally like went back and played it again, well, apparently one of those guys did not, or had like your sweat maybe, I don't know. Did you sub in on bass?
I did not.
I know. But the strings are like super buttery smooth and like very like just the right amount of warm punch to it.
This guitar looks really fun to me.
I really like this.
It looks really classy. Look at that little finger pull.
Yeah, it's a finger pull.
It's a finger pull. It's not a thumb rest. It's the finger pull. You taught me about this, that when it's under the strings, then it's a finger pull because you grip it with your fingers.
You use it to pull down.
You grip it and you rip it. I love that it's not boxy. It's like this really nice little. I'm sure that's not stock. I'm sure that was an add-on. But it looks beautiful.
Yeah, I've never seen one like that.
It's a really like Danish modern sort of shape. And then the pickups are, I've never seen that pickup cover before. Maybe because I've never looked at these basses before. The body shape is a ton of fun. It's kind of like a Stratish sort of take, but more accentuated in certain ways.
I do kind of wonder if these are like actually any good.
It might be hot garbage because it has that very import bolt-on neck sort of looking thing going on.
It looks like that. If that pull bar wasn't original, it was at least an extremely common modification, or I'm just happening to see this exact same bass
popping up everywhere
on a bunch of image searches.
I really like the look of this bass. I'm sure it's not a modern bass when you play it.
No. The thing with a lot of these Epiphone, the ETs, is some people really love them, and some people just think they're a weird,
right? I love
Japanese thing.
I love that. Is it Japanese?
Yeah, these are Matsumoku factory.
I love that it has the original Epiphone headstock, the big like fat, that big chunky bottom open book scroll.
Apparently, the pickups are actually
thick.
The pickups are actually tiny little single coils under there.
Oh, I bet.
And so everything, it sounds like everything about this is like just a
big front.
It's an old school like 70s thumpy, slow jam kind of a.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
It's you're not gonna get a ton of modern sound out of it.
Well, it's a 1970s bass. It probably lives in that era.
But if you get like a 1970s P bass or whatever, like it's still going to be like a P bass. It's going to be in your face. But like, I don't know. That's kind of the whole, like I said, that's kind of the whole thing with these Epiphone ETs, like the ET 270 guitar. Like some people really love them, but a lot of the reviews I see for I've literally seen like multiple times people saying like, oh, the ET 270 is the worst guitar I've ever owned.
Yeah, it might be hot garbage, but it looks beautiful.
Oh yeah,
I love the look of it.
It's more one of those things where it's like,
what do you guys think? Comment down below.
Don't go in on this instrument unless you're expecting to like do some work
right
on it or whatever, or don't go in on it expecting it to be like a modern Epiphone, basically.
Next sponsor?
Yeah, this next sponsor spot gonna help us.
Chase Bliss is threatening to drop something hot and wild and new this year, and we don't know what it is yet.
Do you think it's a flanger?
I still think it's a one knob artificially intelligent flanger that just reads your mood and detects what you need in life and then adjusts accordingly. But until then, we've got the preamp Mark II, the Automaton here. They also have that reverb with the same layout where all the knobs move around and do crazy fun stuff.
Should I buy one of those?
I think you should buy two. So
should I buy a Bliss Factory? Should I buy that or should I wait for the Bliss Factory?
I actually really want a Bliss Factory. You remind me, I want a Bliss Factory really bad. Chase Bliss Audio, they're going to make a new run of Bliss Factories because everyone tried to like buy them all up and then flip them. They bought them just to flip them, which is cruel because there's people out there who actually want them to use them. And they don't want to have to pay $60,000 for one. We want to pay the $350 that they actually cost or whatever it is.
I think they're $400.
They're $400. I want a Bliss Factory. Maybe we should buy Bliss Factories together. We should hold hands and buy a Bliss Factory together.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah. Anyways, huge thanks to Chase Bliss Audio for sponsoring us all these years. We should turn some of that money that they sponsored us with into Bliss Factories.
All right.
So that we can manufacture Bliss on our own.
Let's do it.
So for pedals more creative than you are and probably better looking, check out Chase Bliss Audio. Support them because they've been supporting the content that you love year in and year out. All right. Thanks, guys. Next ad?
Well, we're supposed to do a topic here.
We're not supposed to do anything, Steve, and we're at 50 minutes in. I guess I started early.
Blank here. We don't have
a topic.
Let's do an album review.
We don't have an album that we listen to.
We haven't. I've been so busy.
Yeah, me too. I haven't even thought about it. Should we continue doing albums into 2021?
I want to. I really enjoy doing it. I haven't forced you to listen to any Taylor Swift yet.
Okay, Steve, next episode. It's decided. It's decided. Taylor Swift, next episode. Write it down in your little book.
So many albums.
Write it down in your little book.
Albums to choose from.
Look at how thin your book is getting. This is that's all that's left, and some of that's already filled out.
I know.
How many blank pages do you have in here? Not a lot.
You mean how many blank spaces do I have, baby?
That's how much podcast is left before we run out of Steve's podcast book.
I'll have to buy another notebook.
This is the original podcast book. 7 years. Steve has been.
I'm going to put this on eBay.
Taking notes on every single episode.
All the Wheel of Pedals. Should we bring back Wheel of Pedals?
This is history that no one needs.
Look at this. pause on transition. You know what this was for? This is so I could take a piss break.
Okay, let's listen to Taylor Swift next week, and you will subject me to that, and I'll probably love it. I'll probably love Tay Tay.
I'll pick an album that I think you'll hate.
Oh, come on.
No. We'll listen to one of the new ones. Let's listen. We can.
Why would I? What qualities in a Taylor Swift album would I hate?
I don't know. I just thought Reputation's kind of it's got some really high highs and some really
I just think
low lows.
If you're going to pick one for me to listen to, you might as well throw me into the one that's going to be most culturally relevant.
Which I'm saying, like, so maybe I almost wonder if we do maybe I'd pick something out this week and we do a Taylor Swift double feature next week.
A double feature? Okay. Does that mean 2 albums in 1 week?
2 albums, 1 episode.
Oh my gosh, Steve. What are you doing?
They're easy listening. They're pop albums.
All right. Okay. If you want to cook that up, then
so this week
we're
talking about Smash Mouth's Fushu Mang. It's got songs such as Walking on the Sun and Why Can't We Be Friends. I've never listened to this. Have you ever listened to this album?
I like the original version of Why Can't We Be Friends, and I probably like every single cover of it.
Have you not heard the Smash Mouth version?
I'm sure I have.
It's actually like what I remember it being is that it's like a straight like ska cover.
Here's what I want to do. I want to pitch the next album cover, the next song cover thing that we did. I still need to ship out those shirts. We did the Long December thing. I want the next one to be unska a song. I want you to take a ska song and unska my song. Take out all the horns. Like, I want you to take a ska song.
Was that supposed to? What song were you?
Unbreak My Heart.
Okay, that's what I thought, but it was like, man, like
take a ska song, make it not ska anymore. That's the cover that I want. I'm giving you from this moment right now. I'm giving you a month. What date is it? A month and a half. I'm giving you a month and a half.
Why don't we just make it easy?
2 months.
Let's just say at the end of March.
At the end of March.
That's 2 full months and a little extra.
I want to hear your unscawed songs. And this one will be different because it can end up being a lot of different songs. But come on, you want to do
you
Knock on Wood.
Do you think it should be ska songs that like we should know?
No, but they should.
I'm just saying, like, if somebody throws a Goldfinger B-side, is that a thing we want?
They should be known ska songs. Don't go deep cuts. Known ska songs. I'm talking Never Knock on Woods. I'm talking songs from the specials.
Don't do us. If you send us the Save Ferris cover of Take on Me and all you do is recreate the Aha Take on Me.
Right. No, that doesn't count.
Oh no, it's Real Big Fish did Take on Me. Save Ferris did Come on Eileen.
And if you're going to do a No Doubt song, it better be a No Doubt song that was ska.
Yeah. Don't send us Don't Speak.
Right. Come on. No, like I'd be totally fine with a bunch of unscawed versions of Knock on Wood. A couple like Boss Tone songs or something like that. There's popular ska songs that you could attack. I want to hear Knock on Wood done in emo style.
I want the Bob Dylan. I want the Bob Dylan style Sell Out. I want the Bob Dylan Sell Out.
Have you ever been close to tragedy? Close to folks who had.
Sell out with me, oh yeah. Sell out with me tonight. Record company's gonna give me lots of money.
And every little thing is gonna be all right.
The emo version of Sell Out. Record company's gonna give me lots of money. Everything's gonna be all right.
I want to hear
guttural.
I want to hear metal versions of ska songs. So there you go. All right, let's do this last ad, and then
before we do this last ad, we gotta do a little housekeeping,
and then we'll do that.
If you'd like to support this nonsense, if you'd like to support our Templeton Rye habit, you can support us by heading on over to patreon.com/60cyclehumcast. This is the part of the episode where we pimp out our listener base. And thank you. Thank those who have supported us. Thank you, Francis Stokes, who's joining us at the $1 level. And Peter Carpenter, who's joining us at the 8.5 pound level.
That's heavy.
I didn't know that we had multiple currencies enabled, but apparently we do. because he's joined us at the 8.5 pound.
Well, I think that's just the exchange rate. Like if things change, then it could be more than $10 or it could be less. But obviously, saying, we've got to get him in the inner circle pronto.
I'm just saying, like, I've never seen that before. Like, we have supporters in foreign countries who support us using the American dollar. Anyway, patreon.com, whether it's $1 or 8.5 pounds or anything, we definitely appreciate it. It puts this stuff on walls. It sends Ryan on road trips to make videos.
Dangerous air trips to Kansas.
It puts bliss factories in our pockets.
And puts rye in our bellies.
Yeah, and, you know.
It says it's the good stuff, and I agree. This has been good stuff.
So thanks, Francis, and thanks, Peter. Sometime we got to do, you know, at the end of the audio version of this, the not live version of the show, so twice a month, we run all of the names. But I think we need to, I need to print that list out. And we need to do, it's going to take like...
You're going to try to Bo Branton it?
I'm not going to Bo Branton it. I cannot hold my breath that long at all. But I think it'd be amusing to read all the names. Also, the new Bo Branton thing is he sings all the names.
We're getting close to 100. We did plenty of singing this episode, Steve.
Oh, it's right here.
Ska my song.
All right, bud.
Take out all the horns.
This was sent to us by Adam Dohanik, the inboxer, the original inboxer.
The only inboxer. There's never been a new inboxer. The original and only inboxer. We named him that because he was the first guy to like start sending us ads, and he sent so many.
And he still does.
He does. Thank you, Adam.
This is a Gibson Les Paul Custom Shop Pepsi 300 Nashville Speedway from April 13th, 2002, featuring artwork by Sam Bass. Sam Bass was a NASCAR artist. His artwork can be seen on many race cars, blah, blah, blah. This was purchased from his personal guitar collection. If you're not familiar with Sam Bass, look up his credentials online.
I'm doing it. I'm looking up his credentials.
I'm looking at this picture. This is a... Gibson.
Art confirmed. He does NASCAR art, guys.
NASCAR. Nashville Super Speedway.
And I can't say honestly that any of it is blowing my mind.
This breaks the rule.
Yeah, it breaks my art orientation rule. It's set up so that this art is only viewable when the guitar's hanging on the wall.
It's got the Gibson logo painted on it. It's got the NASCAR logo in a couple different places. It's got a planet.
I mean, this art isn't terrible, but I was honestly hoping more for like the style of that guy who does like he does movie posters. Like he's famous for like the Indiana Jones posters and all other kinds. Like this feels like, look at this. It just feels kind of flat.
I wanted this to be like airbrushed.
It kind of feels like paint by number in composition. Like he painted over photos. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see. Yeah. It's a little odd. You know, if you're into this, it's got a very like...
I think I want to go on record and say I think he's a good artist. It's just not the style I was expecting.
It's got kind of like a 90s vibe to it, if you know what I mean, which, you know, makes sense that this was from...
Is that Ricky Bobby?
That is Ricky Bobby.
He did a painting of Ricky Bobby.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty funny. Okay, I'm on board now. Sam Bass, you got me.
He's self-aware.
Yeah.
How much are they asking? There's no...
it's $3,700.
$3,700 for a Les Paul custom. Honestly, if this plays like a Les Paul custom shop should play, that's not a bad price.
No, that's normal price for Les Paul, which is still too expensive for what Gibsons are. I mean, you could take $3,700 and get yourself a really nice custom-made guitar from a multitude of luthiers. And you could know that person personally, and you could call out specific things you want done to your guitar.
But could you get a Pepsi 300 Nashville Speedway?
You probably could.
Job?
You probably could get custom art on a guitar for $3,700.
Doug Cower, we need to talk.
Steve wants this NASCAR. What is it? Dayliner?
Doug only does Simpsons art on his guitar.
I don't see the market for this, but then I'm not a NASCAR guy. I don't know any NASCAR people. The one friend that we had who was a NASCAR person, she disowned us as a friend.
Who's
Alyssa? Like,
oh, was she a NASCAR person?
15 years ago. Yeah, she loved NASCAR.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she disowned us as a person, though. She doesn't like us. And you know,
I don't even remember what happened.
We were probably assholes. So yeah, it wasn't us specifically, but it was our group of friends. She's like, I'm done with you people. And honestly,
I mean,
I don't blame her.
That's because we got married. Was that because we got married?
No, it was because of other drama. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it right now. Ask your wife.
I'll ask my wife. I'm sure she knows.
She knows all the juicy details. I know that I saw.
She did have my first, I think my 1 year anniversary photos.
I saw this person who's has removed us from her life. I saw her in Costco. We made eye contact, and then she diverted her eyes and continued on. So that's where we're at.
Carmel Mountain?
No, Mission Valley.
Okay. I was gonna say.
Geography talk. Costco geography talk. Why do I remember that? That was like,
I don't know,
7 years ago, maybe?
Oh, you saw her in Costco 7 years ago. So like, not now. I was gonna say 15 years is a long
why do
time
I
to
remember this Costco interaction? That's bizarre.
So you're a weirdo.
A real weirdo. So anyways, $3,700 for a, I mean, if this guy really is like the hot thing in NASCAR art, there's someone who's going to want it.
Yeah.
But I have trouble imagining the market for it, but that's me.
I don't want to say, I don't, you know, there's no usefulness in a person who has almost zero artistic talent, possibly negative artistic talent, making comments on the quality of this. So I'm just going to say that I get it, and I think there's a place for this, but it's not on a Gibson Les Paul. I would say,
I don't want to say
somebody send this to the show that really tackles the hard hitting reverb, you know, that ridiculous reverb ads show.
I don't want
on that other channel.
I don't want to. Yeah, send this over to Ryan Bruce. I don't want to.
Does he say fuck on his show yet? The last time I heard him try to say fuck, he bleeped it out. Just say fuck, okay?
We're Christians, and we'll say fuck.
Jeez.
So what does that mean, Ryan Bruce? We're not afraid of demonetization. Why are you? Why are we so hard on Ryan Bruce? Ryan, you might be watching. I'm sorry we're being so hard on you.
He does. I will say he says fuck in the comments.
Oh.
Like he will. To be fair, he will tell his commenters like fuck you and fuck off.
To be fair,
people who leave comments.
Of all our episodes, this is the most either of us has ever said fuck. So we can't really judge him too hard. I'm not sure
if it is. Maybe it's the most you've said fuck.
Oh, I think that moment right there, you went over the line. Now you have said it more than you've ever said it before.
Yeah, maybe.
Here's what I'm going to say. Maybe it'll get back to the artist. I hope it doesn't, because I don't want him to think that people are out there criticizing and stuff when they shouldn't be. His stuff is, on a technical level, this is good art. Yeah. He's technically achieving results that are very clean and well done. To me, it just feels kind of uninspired. Like it doesn't feel exciting to me in a visual sort of way. But I mean, it's NASCAR. Yeah. It's cars that go around in a circle over and over again. Like, what do you want?
Turn left. And I think there's one race a year where they turn right.
What? Okay, I'm in. I'm a NASCAR fan now.
Apparently, there's a couple NASCAR road races as well where they turn both left and right.
I know it's not NASCAR, but I know there's car racing where they don't turn at all.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah.
And sometimes the people in those races participate in 1989 Dodge Caravans. Have you ever seen those?
I'm into this.
Have you ever seen those?
Are we talking about drag racing?
Yeah.
I haven't seen the Caravans, but
yeah.
You know me, Caravan was my first car.
Just look it up, guys. It's super cool. Look up Turbo Dodge Caravan.
I don't want to see him turboed. I want a legitimate race between stock Dodge Caravans. The V6 versus V6s and V4s versus V4s.
Well, there's no V4.
I had a Dodge Caravan. It was a V4.
Why do they have a V4? That's weird.
Honestly, Steve, you might not know this. And other Caravan owners and fans, the fandom on the Caravan boards, I think the V4 is the preferable one because the transmission that they put in the V6s was not beefy enough, and the V6s would blow through transmissions like crazy. The V4 transmission was too beefy for the V4, and it would not blow out.
All right, well, I guess we're going to get into this. So the 4-cylinder Mopar in the late 80s was the same engine from the Mitsubishi. I think it was the Mitsubishi 3000 GT.
Okay.
So when I say turbovan, like it's the stock engine. It's just like fully modified.
They juiced it. Yeah.
Like, but it's an off the lot Mopar engine.
Gotcha.
They put out a van that had a turbo engine in it.
You know what? I used to drive my Caravan around with the pedal to the metal, flooring it. And because it's a minivan and it looks like it's going 20 miles an hour no matter where you are, I know it's
actually going 30, guys.
I only got one ticket in that thing, and it's because I was going 5 miles over the speed limit in like a 35. But I would drive that thing on the freeways 90, 95
Jeez.
all the time. All the time. I goosed that thing from Las Vegas back to San Diego.
When you
on the floor 95 miles an hour the whole time.
When are you gonna buy one? Are you gonna buy one someday?
A Caravan?
Yeah. Like an 80s one.
And fix it up? No, I'd get a 91.
91?
91, 92, something like that.
I'm just saying that body style was like, I think 87 to 92 or something.
I do miss it. I do miss the minivan life. It was a fun time.
I've thought about getting a third vehicle, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to deal with that.
The parking.
And just park in the visitor spot all the time.
If I had unlimited time in my life, I probably would get a Caravan and fix it up and get it running. My Caravan, when I finally got rid of it, everything was breaking on it.
Yeah.
And I still see them on the road. And like, I don't know how yours still functions. Like
it's called they didn't drive it 95 miles an hour from Las Vegas to San Diego.
There's things on it that break that have nothing to do with that. Like the little button that would turn the lamp on and off when you close and open the door broke on mine.
You don't need that.
And I had to tape it down. I had to tape a penny over that button because it wouldn't.
But you don't need that.
I know. I don't need it. I like the windshield wipers were broken in a way where they would just run, like the switch was broken, so they would just keep going. So I would have to reach down into the fuse box and pull the fuse to get the windshield wipers to turn off. Yeah, but your windshield gets dusty. It gets dirty. Like stuff like that was breaking on my Caravan.
Have you finished Cobra Kai season 3?
Yes.
Nice.
All right, did we do it? Is there another ad?
No, this week's song is sent by Paul Crane. He says, this is from a band of mine called Complete Radio Silence. The song is called Stagger. We broke up amicably a couple years ago, but we're talking about doing an EP remotely.
Do it.
Some of us live in different countries now. 5-piece, 3 guitars. I'm pretty sure I used a Gretsch Tennessee Rose and a Classic 30. The others are a Strat and an old 335. Bass and drums. I picked this recording because I like the drums. We have an album with this track on it on iTunes and all the other platforms such as Spotify. The album is called Bendyland. The band name again is Complete Radio Silence. Tap to download. I should have done this earlier.
Yeah, no kidding. This is a loose episode.
Dude, this is a good episode. What's your take, man?
That's the kind of song that makes me miss live shows. Like if I was watching a band play that song, I'd be vibing it to it hard at a live show. I was vibing to it right now. Like live, yeah, you'd have me. Good song. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye, everyone.
I think I'm going to try to buy it right now.
What?
Can I buy this?
Damn, Steve, go buy that
Complete
song.
Radio Silence.
Right.
NT.
Bye, everyone. Stay grounded.
See ya.